BlizzCon happened this past weekend, and boy oh boy did we get a lot of announcements. From Diablo 4 to a new World of Warcraft expansion, I was jumping out of my seat at nearly every announcement, but really, words will never be able to explain what I felt watching that 0-hour cinematic for the newly announced Overwatch 2. With the announcements starting with the story so far, we felt everything we did when we first launched Overwatch for the first time. That sense of a new world to explore and to defend, that feeling was only doubled down on by the 0-hour short as we watched Mei and Winston hop into the fray in France, joined shortly by the members of the Overwatch gang who were able to make it out, and some of those faces were not that familiar to us. Let's talk game. NYXL feels some of the most flexible players in the scene, with Libero's hero pool really not knowing any bounds. It may as well be deeper than the Mariana Trench as we saw him take flight on Pharah and hero after expanding past his legendary Genji. In the Overwatch 2 short, we saw Ekko fly into action in a big way, saying hello to the monkey from McCree and landing some energy pulses from the sky. The projectiles themselves seem to be, well, projectiles, and it looks like they stick to the affected player before exploding shortly after. The weapon she's using also appears to fire in about bursts of 5, although it might pan out to be an automatic weapon. If she does end up with the capability to fly and with a projectile weapon, you know that the NYXL gears will be turning at full speed as they theory craft their way into the next season. With that said, let's talk about Sojourn. In the gameplay video for Overwatch 2 that showed shortly after the 0-hour cinematic, we were shown bits of Sojourn's gameplay, and here's what it looks like. We don't know much other than the fact that she's wielding what looks like an energy-based automatic rifle of sorts, kind of resembling Soldier 76's, and that her left arm has the capability to transform into what seems like a launcher of sorts. If she's geared to be more of a DPS character, we could see Pine picking up the hero. Hit scan is what made the big boss. However, Captain of Overwatch with high mobility in her slide and hit scan capabilities does sound like the perfect fit for Sabiolbe himself. Now, if Sojourn dons the role of healer, you could very well see Jonak picking her up. Combining projectile aim from the launcher in the left arm with the hit scan of the rifle is something he would be comfortable with, as Jonak wields an Ana that rivals or even best that of Ryujihong, his very own inspiration. Either way, she looks like she's gonna be a lot of fun. Now to Overwatch 2. I had the chance to actually play the game, and I've gotta say the game is gorgeous, and it runs phenomenally. Granted, I was playing on a beast of a rig that easily costs upwards of $3,000, so take this as you will, but graphical fidelity overall on the game has been ramped all the way up due to using an improved engine for the game, which does allow for more polygons while using less resources. You can see this in the newest map, Toronto, because really, it's beautiful. It's set in Toronto's fall/winter, as the map is coated in a light layer of snow and the leaves on the trees are a stark red. Apart from being beautiful though, it's home to the newest competitive game mode in Push. Think of Push as an eternal tug of war combined with a payload mechanic. The quote-unquote payload starts in the middle of the map in the form of a big ol' robot, and whoever is in control of, meaning whoever has the most players on the robot, will push it towards the enemy side. If the robot is able to reach its destination on the opposite side of the team who's pushing it, that team wins. However, what is interesting is that if the defending team is able to successfully clear that objective, they can then begin pushing the objective back towards the middle, and then, eventually, to the enemy side of the map. Whoever is able to push the robot the furthest ultimately wins, and I've gotta say, the game mode is exciting. It's more dynamic than just waiting on defense or setting up attack after attack, and it allows for more opportunity for players to exercise their map knowledge, and really makes for a more entertaining map type to watch. In terms of a competitive map, Toronto seems solid. There are distinctive routes for the objective to take, and the middle gets especially exciting. The neutral ground where the robot is initially placed has quite a few curves and corners, and an equally exciting amount of high ground available. The sightlines on the main point are quite long as well and reach from each side of the map to the other, so you gotta position yourself well in anticipation of a push because it'll pay dividends. I already see the headline now. Big Boss 2. Because, like, Overwatch 2, there. Realistically though, it's the flexibility of the team that will find NYXL success on this new game mode and this new map. It's going to be important to utilize high mobility heroes on push maps in conjunction with a tank line that can hold down the robot and push. You're gonna want to be a step forward. Honestly, push opens up so many new possibilities. Imagine pushing it to an advantageous location, maybe deep in a corner in enemy lines, and then swapping to a bastion focused comp to hold it there. The enemy team would have to try taking down NYXL's legendary bastion setup before making any significant progress. Or take an opposite approach and go full dive. There are so many options with this versatile game mode, and I'm so excited to see the squad in action. The best part about all of this new news is that even if you don't buy Overwatch 2, you're still going to be getting so much of the new stuff. We're talking new heroes, new maps, new PvP modes, and so much more. While some things like the hero redesigns will remain in Overwatch 2 and the improved graphical fidelity, it's a good strategy to make sure that the most amount of people are happy with the newest addition to the Overwatch world. We'll report on the latest as we know it, but for now, hit that like button, subscribe, and press that bell icon so you guys know when our newest content goes up. I'm Jimmy, Origin Basco, and I will catch you guys next time.